This week on Hunting University, we're headed to the Old West. Dirt and Charlie take a trip to Wyoming for some high-elevation hunting with Tangle Ridge Outfitters. We've got 2 mule deer tags and a week to fill them. Hopefully a big buck will walk into our sights. That's all on this week's Hunting University.
I'm looking at a buck with the rack so tall. I have to raise my ceiling just to get him on the wall. He's right where I want him, got him in my sights. I grab my bow and let the arrow fly. My heart's pumping fast, but my nerves are still. This seems like a dream, but I know it's for real. Charlie and Dirt gonna let it ride from early in the morning till late at night. When it comes to hunting, everything you need to know is here on the Hunting University Show.
It's time for Hunting University with Charlie Ingram and Dirt King. Hunting University is brought to you by Gammo, Hornady, 1-800-INSURANCE, and Mid-South Shooter Supply. When Dirt and Charlie flew out of Nashville, Tennessee this morning, the weather was perfect. But when the plane touched down in Billings, Montana, it was a different story. It was very cold with snow on the ground. That's what happens sometimes when you hunt the planet like our hosts do. And Dirt and Charlie are no strangers to the adverse elements. We've hunted thick fogs in the deep south, monsoon-like rains in New Zealand, and the bitter cold of Canada. But today, the road from Billings, Montana to Grey Bull, Wyoming is shaping up to be a pretty temperate little trek. A nice day to enjoy the scenery. Wyoming has some of the biggest sky in the United States, so Dirt and Charlie sit back and enjoy the view. Eventually, our line of sight is blocked by mountains as we slowly crawl into the Bighorn National Forest, where we will spend the next week in search of some big mule deer. Our hosts arrive at the camp with little daylight to spare. We've still got to move all of the gear from here to the bunkhouse. There is still a lot of snow on the mountaintop, and the whipping wind is making Dirt anxious to be anywhere but here.
I like it over there.
Our crew is exhausted by the thin air up here. It turns in for the night. The next morning, our guide and co-owner of Tangle Ridge Outfitters, Brent Sorensen, takes us to the mountaintop to give us our first view of what to expect out here. Dirt and Charlie are more than pleased with the view.
We've been trying to get out here to hunt with Brett in a long time, and glad you made it happen, buddy. Based on what we've seen this first 30 minutes at 24 degrees, it's going to be a good thing.
We got a real full moon, and with the day before the season, we're opens in Wyoming for both elk and mule deer. And Brent, you've got 2 elk hunters coming in tomorrow too, and then Dirt and I are going to have the privilege of hunting a mule deer, so it'll be a pretty neat deal, right?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, if we get one of those 6x or 6x7s over here on the ground, that'll make a party.
Nice.
Yeah, those 2 guys will be wound up tighter than a tick if they get one of them. Ain't gonna be nothing like this. You better hang on, because this party's gonna get really good. Brett Sorensen in Wyoming.
This segment brought to you by Hornady. Accurate, deadly, dependable.